Hey guys, how are you doing today? So I'm just giving a couple of seconds for people to join in. Today's topic is about feel the fear and do it anyway. So it's this little book here that I'm going to talk about. It's from Susan Jeffers. She's a best-selling author. This particular book has sold over 2 million copies around the world. So, and it has impacted millions of people in the world. I was very sick today since morning, but I committed, so I'm doing it anyway today. All right, just give another few seconds and we can start it up. So today's topic is about feel the fear and do it anyway. How can you overcome fear, push yourself from a state of pain to a state of power? So what is fear? Fear, everybody has fears, right? But many of us, we don't accept that we have we have fear. So it's, sorry, I look a bit different because I was sick and I was asleep the whole day. I was just resting for the day. So here. So fear, what are the common fears that people have? The biggest fear in the world that people have is about public speaking. They fear public speaking more than they fear death and more than they fear being bitten by a snake. So public speaking is a huge fear that people have, right? And there are other fears which people don't actually tell apparently, but they do have it. They don't acknowledge that they have that fear. So reading this book, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, it actually took me through a process of acknowledging the fears that I have and how to overcome those fears. Okay, so the common fears that are mentioned in the book usually is that public speaking is the number one fear. Asserting yourself, like being self-assured, that's another fear people have. People are not confident because they are fearful. If they are confident and they do something, that might affect them or whatever, right? And making decisions, being in a state of indecision. You need to make a decision, but you're fearful. What if you make a decision, then it goes wrong or whatever, right? That kind of fear of making decision. Being intimate to your partner, if you love them more, then what if they take advantage of you or some, fear of that kind. It's silly, of course, but many of us have such fears which put us in a state of pain instead of being powerful. You're not powerful over yourself. That's the number one problem that people have when it comes to fears. When you are fearful, you are in a state of pain. You just acknowledge that pain and live in a state of pain forever. Oops, my mic. So just give me a second. So, yeah, I think it's back. All right, so we spoke about public speaking fears, asserting yourself, making decisions, fear when making, changing jobs, being alone, aging. Some people have fear of driving. Some have the fear of losing a loved one. So these fears, actually, the whole concept of the book is that being fearful is being in a state of pain. Pain, accepting the pain, because you are in some pain that you want to move out of that pain and become more powerful. And between the pain and power comes the fear. So when you go into a state of fear, it actually prevents you from achieving that powerful state. So let's look at how you can recognize fears. So the book actually outlines in a logical way 3 levels of fears. The level 1 fear is those that happen to you and those that require your action. For example, aging is something that happens to you. You age, of course, like no matter what, you're going to age and you're going to die someday. So I'm going to die someday. So that fear, like, oh, I'm going to die tomorrow, I'm going to die next week, or I'm going to die in 2 years or 3 years. This fear is also going to affect your productivity and your, what can I say, and the things that you want to do, right? You will not be able to do what you want to do because you have these fears, right? So because you're thinking that I'm gonna age, you're just gonna think about like, oh, I'm gonna age, I'm gonna die, and not take advantage of the time that you have right now before you age or before you die, right? So that's level 1 fear, and and the other level 1 fears are being retiring, being alone, war. Those require action. For example, going back to school, if I go back to school, what will people say that, oh, I'm so old or whatever, right? Or people say that, it's all, we live for our environment and not live for ourselves. That's the biggest mistake that we do, which pushes us into a state of pain. Okay. And also those require action are, making decisions. You're in a state of decision making, and you are so afraid that if I make this decision, then I would go there or whatever, right? So that kind of fear. And career change, getting a new job. These are things that require your action, but you just don't take action because you're in a state of fear. Level 2 is fear of rejection, fear of success, fear of failure, and fear of helplessness. Examples, okay, there are more, but you can check out the book later. I can't talk about everything, but important things are fear of rejection. What if you go and speak to your boss about something? What if he rejects that proposal? What if I become successful and then my friends leave me away? Or what if I become a failure and then my friends don't come to me because I'm a failure, or my partner leaves me because I failed, right? These are fears that prevent you, again and again I'm saying this, these are fears that prevent you from moving ahead in your life and being stuck, and puts you in a state where you are stuck. You're just stuck. You just can't get out from where you are. You will continue to experience what you're experiencing today. For example, if you don't have enough money to make your ends meet, then if you don't take action and you're being fearful of the next day that's coming, I have only $100 today. Can I live tomorrow? Can I pay for this tomorrow? Pay for that tomorrow? If you're in that state, then you will not think about making money, which is solution to not having enough money, right? So make sure that you find yourself, find the fear that you have, and acknowledge that, and push you into a state of powerful state, right? So I'll tell you how to push over there, like how the book gives exercises and stuff for you to move from pain to power. The level 3 fear is I can't handle it. Whatever it is, they go into a state where they say, I can't handle it. I can't handle rejection. I can't handle public speaking. I can't handle self-confidence. I can't handle making this decision. I can't handle loving my partner or loving my wife or I can't handle starting a business. This is the most painful state that you can be in your life, and that is actually going to keep you stuck in the position where you are. So all you need to do is acknowledge the fear, handle the fear, and go ahead. So we'll speak about how to handle these fears, right? So the number 1 thing the book talks about is changing your vocabulary. So there is a difference between if I lost my job today, okay, there is a difference me saying that I hope I will get a job tomorrow in the next 1 month. If I'm saying that, I'm in a state of pain. I'm just hoping that something can happen to me, right? I'm not taking control of myself. I'm not putting me into a powerful state. Whereas if I say, I know I will get a job by next month, that's the powerful state, because you're going to do whatever it takes to go and get a job, right? So the pain to power vocabulary. So if you're in a state of pain, you will just blame others or blame the environment, blame things that happen to you. But when you're in a powerful state, you take control of the situation and then go ahead and do what you want to do. Okay, so hey, welcome everybody. So leave a comment if you are here, so that I can know who's watching with me. So I spoke about the fears that we face in life, and what can that fear lead, what can that fear do to our lives, right? We get stuck in the situation where we are, and then we don't take power, a state of power, and rather push us into a state of pain, right? So the number one thing that you need to change to overcome fears is to change your vocabulary. Change your vocabulary from blaming others to taking responsibility of yourself. So it's the example that I spoke about is, I hope I will get a job. I'll say if I lost my job today, then if I say that I hope I'll get a job by next month, because right, so that's like blaming others. Will the environment give me a job? But rather, if you say that I know I will get a job, I'll do whatever it takes, that means that you're putting yourself into a powerful state. You're going to pitch hundreds of employers and going to get a job anyway, right? So the pain vocabulary is like, I can't do this, I should do this, it's not my fault, it's a problem, I am never satisfied, life is a struggle, I hope, if only somebody can do X, well, I can do Y, or what will I do if this happens? It's terrible. These are pain vocabularies. If you're saying this in your vocabulary, which means that you're pushing yourself into a painful state. So recognize that, and then transform those words into a powerful word, which is like, instead of I can't, say I won't. I'm not going to do this because you're going to take my time, or I can't. Instead of saying that I can't do this, it's like blaming the time, right? Blaming your situation. But rather, if you say I won't, you're taking responsibility of your time. You're just saying that I can do it, but I won't do it because I have other priorities right now, right? So that's the state of power. You need to change your whole vocabulary for that you do use in everyday life, for you to push yourself into a powerful state. And it's not my fault. Instead of saying that, you can just say that I'm totally responsible for that. Let me see what I can do to change the situation. Life is a struggle. Instead of that, say life is an adventure. I hope, I know. We saw that example earlier. So if only I had X, I could have done Y. Instead of say that next time I will do this. Next time I will do it in a better way. It's a lesson that we learned now. Let me see how I can apply that and become a better person next time, right? So that's putting yourself into a responsible state and putting yourself into a powerful state. So these are the pain to power vocabularies. The next step is the next step is to expand your comfort zone. We go into a fearful state because we stick to our comfort zone. Everybody has this box within them. They just stick to that box. They don't want to do something that's out of their comfort zone. So how to put yourself out of the comfort zone is it is not so easy. You have to do it in steps. So in the book, it actually says that, okay, you have this comfort zone, which is of this size. So expand your comfort zone a little bit. So for example, if you're looking to, for example, let me say, if you're going to do a public speaking, right? So how can you expand that comfort zone? You have never done a public speaking, so that's your comfort zone. You're just capable of speaking to your friends and family and, just one-on-one or one-on-two or two or three people, right? So how can you move from the state where you can only speak to 3 people to speaking to 10 people? Then you think about expanding it to 20 people, then 30 people, then 40 people, then 50, then 100, and then 1,000, right? That's how you expand your comfort zone. You don't have to right now go ahead and do speak in front of 1,000 people. That will be a huge step, and that will increase your fear. But rather take small steps towards getting out of your comfort zone and going into a powerful state. If you're sticking to your comfort zone, it means that you're in a painful state. You think that you can't get out of the comfort zone, you're putting yourself into a painful state, right? So expanding your comfort zone, that's what I spoke about right now. How to expand your comfort zone is that take small steps out of the comfort zone, right? So if you're only comfortable of speaking to a group discussion 5 people, then go and do a talk for 10 people. Invite your colleagues. Just go and speak about whatever presentation that you want to do. Just do it for 10 people. Then from there you move to 20 people. Then from there move to 50 people. Then from there 100 people. Go ahead and expand your comfort zone. That's one thing. And then the book speaks about lose-lose situation, lose-win situation, and win-win situation, and win-lose situation. This is also mentioned in the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen, I forgot the last name. So it's a Stephen someone. Okay, anyway, so the 7 habits of highly effective people is that one of the habits is reaching to a win-win situation in any situation. This actually allows you to be in a more powerful state as well, because if you think that you lose and the other person wins, then you're pushing yourself into a painful state. You're just accepting the pain that they are imposing on you. You let the other person win and you lose your game, right? But rather another way is that saying no completely and then lose situation. Nobody wins. That also puts you in a painful state because nobody wins, and then you become more painful. Win-win is the best solution that you can attain in any situation in your life. If you can go to a win-win situation, that's the best decision that you can make in life. So example of a win-win situation, for example, say example, your boss asks you, hey, you want to give I need you to give a presentation to 100 people tomorrow, and then you have fear of public speaking. How will you handle that situation? So a win-lose situation is that you say that, no, I can't. I have never done a 100-person speaking engagement before, so I'm not going to do. So which is you win and your boss loses it, right? So that's a win-lose situation. When you put that, it's going to attack you later. You're actually putting you into a painful state, right? Because you said no right away to your boss. But rather, if you want to push yourself into a powerful situation, right? You can say, hey boss, I'm sorry, I am not comfortable doing for 100 people, but I would definitely get some training and I may do it next time, right? Next time I can do a better job because I'm not comfortable doing it this time. Which means that you're taking responsibility, that you are fearful of public speaking, and you're acknowledging that the boss is telling you to do this, and the boss actually understands that you have the fear of public speaking, and he allows you to win the next time. So it's a win-win situation, right? So the boss wins. You may recommend, say, oh, I will ask my friend, friend A to do the seminar today instead of me. So the boss also wins, and you also win, right? So you are not doing it right now, but you're going to do it at a later point. So that's an example of a win-win situation. And the book speaks about why we push ourselves into a painful situation. Why are we so fearful? when it comes to making decisions. It's because the fear of us making a wrong decision, which can push us into a painful state, right? So that's a common fear that people have. If I do this now, then I may go off course, and I may put everybody in a painful state or something like that. Hey, are you guys listening? Am I audible? Am I making sense? Can you comment below, please? Is it audible? Anyway, so I will just continue. I think there is a delay in the comments. So it's not a straight path. That's what the book says. Like, you can't always be on a straight path. You can't like A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's not going to happen in life. You have to make decisions at point A, point B, point C, point D, point E, and point F. But when you make that decision, oh, alaikum salam, thank you, Shabi. So point A, point B, point C, point D, everywhere you need to make a decision, right? So when you're in a painful state, you just skip the decision, and then you go ahead anyway, right? So that's pretty much the mistake people do, right? They are fearful of making the decision because the decision may take them up or may take them down, right? It can go up or it can go down. But when you don't make a decision, you just remain in your comfort zone, and then you just go ahead in life. But what if you made the decision to find a new job? You might get a salary increase, right? That is a powerful decision, and then you become higher in life, right? You get off of the comfort zone, and then you go up. What if you made the decision wrong, and then you went to that job and you didn't like the job, and it's like a hell of a job, like you were working for 14 hours or whatever, then you're pushed into a painful state. The key to this decision making is to embrace these words. Whatever happens, I will handle it. Whatever happens, I will handle it. Right? So what if you made the decision? So you left the job and you found a new job, and the job is like 14 hours and 16 hours in every day, and then you're like super painful. You made a bad decision, right? So fine, you're off course right now. Make a different decision and push yourself into a powerful state, right? So you just, okay, if that happens, then I can leave the job and find another job because I just found another job, right? So that's pretty much what the going off course means, right? So they also spoke about launching a rocket. Say if NASA is launching a rocket to Mars, it's not going to be like set and forget. There will be somebody who's driving that rocket the whole time to Mars. How they do it is that they have a trajectory, like say for example, this is their trajectory, then the rocket usually actually goes off course many times. So they actually go off course, and then they correct the position back to the trajectory. Then they correct the position, then it goes off course. Then they correct the position, they correct the position, they correct the position. It's not a straight path. They always correct the trajectory and drive the rocket to Mars, right? So that was a good example that they gave. And your life's decisions and business decisions are usually like this. Even if it goes off course, you can correct it. You can come back to the comfortable level, or more powerful level. So don't procrastinate about making decisions, because you just need to tell yourself, like, whatever happens, I can handle this. Whatever happens, I can handle this. Say it like 10 times every morning, that when you wake up, then you are actually putting yourself into a powerful state. Because whatever decisions you're going to make the whole day, you're not going to be in a painful state. You're not going to make those decisions in a painful state, but rather in a powerful state, right? So embrace yourself, put yourself into a powerful state, and then make decisions thinking that you can, even if you go off course, you can always correct the path, just like they launched the rocket to Mars, right? So nobody, the rocket is not following a straight path, but rather a trajectory, and then whenever NASA goes off course, they correct and come back to the course, right? So whatever business decisions, you lost money, okay, fine, how can I handle it? I can handle it, like, okay, make that decision, like get some more investment or whatever, right? So cut that partner and then go back on course, right? Go off course and go on course. So off course and course correction, this is a very important lesson that I learned from the book. So most of the times we don't make decisions because we are fearful of going off course, right? So all you need to say is that I can handle it. I can handle it. Whatever happens, I can handle it. When you are saying that to yourself, you're in a very powerful situation. So you can always, always, always handle any situation in your life or in business when you put yourself into a powerful state. Okay. So other few things. So this is pretty much my lessons learned. So number one lesson is acknowledging the fear. Acknowledge that you have that fear. Number two is expand your comfort zone. Number three is put yourself into a powerful state by changing your vocabulary. Instead of saying, I hope I can do this, I can't handle this, say I won't handle it, or I know I can get a job anytime, right? Actually, there are a lot of lessons in this book, so I am pretty much giving you the top 3 lessons that I learned. So the pain to power vocabulary, expanding your comfort zone, and acknowledging your fear. Learn about your fear, learn about yourself. Acknowledge that, hey, I have this fear, so I have to be careful about making decisions, whether I'm making it in a state of fear or I'm making it in a state of power, right? So that's pretty much it for today. Other stuff that I learned from the book, which I cannot explain in a very short fashion, is that holding yourself accountable, right? So hold yourself accountable to the decisions you make, and that's when you can handle the fear. Then the chatterbox. Everybody has a chatterbox inside our head saying that, hey, don't make that decision, don't make this, if you do this, then this might happen wrongly, or that's the chatterbox that keeps us away from making decisions in life and to move ahead in life. That's one small voice that that your head keeps telling you not to make that decision or not to move ahead or not to do anything, right? So you need to learn to handle that chatterbox. So there are some techniques that has been mentioned in the book, how to handle that chatterbox so that you can actually make decisions in a state of power. And limiting beliefs is another thing. That's a whole big topic. I cannot speak in like 5 minutes, but anyway, if you want to take away one thing, all you need to take away is that every morning, every day, whatever decisions you're making, say whatever happens, I will handle it. And the book ends with like 5 times saying that whatever happens, I will handle it. Whatever happens, I will handle it. Whatever happens, I will handle it. And then finally it says, if you knew that you can handle anything that came your way, what would you possibly have to fear? Nothing. If you knew you can handle any situation, you can handle any fear in this world, right? So I end with that note. Thank you for listening. So this is episode 5. Of Ask Mzee. I'm going to continue doing this 3 times a week. So Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 8:30 p.m. Singapore time. Well, have a good day or good evening or good night, wherever you are. Thank you for listening. If you're listening to replay, just give me a comment saying that whether it was useful or not. If you're live as well, just say whether it was useful or not, so that it motivates me a little bit so to continue doing such stuff, right? So ending with this note, whatever happens, I'll handle it. Bye-bye.